Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is Ace of Vessels, the Waters of Life. And the card that just dropped off was the Ace of Arrows, the Breath of Life. Okay, so, you just got done breathing life into a project here in the last week. Maybe a thought process, right? And now you've got, really, let's say there's 3 aces on the board, and that's significant. Okay, with 2 of them, this is telling me this is a personal story, right? This is not there's somebody's involved here, okay, with you, and that's being that the Ace of Stones was yesterday, the foundation of life, and today's the Ace of Vessels, the waters of life. All right, now. The meaning behind this card is that there's ancient wisdom is ready to be reawakened. And, when I think of wisdom, when I was meditating on this card today, I was thinking about how important water is. How important water is to our life. We're made up 80%, maybe a little bit more, of water. And the reason why I bring this up is when I was running today, I had water with me, and I was like, thank goodness I have water with me, because when I got done with my run, I was out of water. And luckily, somebody gave me a bottle, and it rejuvenated me. It revitalized me a little bit, right? And I've been drinking water all day. I usually do after I'm done running. Okay, and I was just thinking, how important water is. The earth is covered mostly with water. I've got water behind me, and it's a great source of energy. It's a great source of an opportunity, to become cleansed, to be purified, to let that water just wash off you. Just kind of, I know when I was working, I'd take a shower after I get done working. It would just be, so good just to feel the water just not only wipe the grit and the grime away from me, but just to feel refreshed when I was done. And here you got the waters of life that whether you can get to a pool, or you can get to an ocean, or a lake, or a fountain, or just even a shower at your house. All right, stand underneath that shower head, or dip into that pool, or immerse yourself into the water. And just let that energy just take away all your cares, all your worries, okay? And just let it float there in a pool, all right? Just let it take away. And here you've got the Queen of Arrows as well, the swan in this pool, all right? And she likes to transition to different waters, and maybe she made her way over there today, but. The other good thing about it is you can drink of those waters and renew your quest. All right, and that's what that Ace of Arrows was talking about. The breath of life is to breathe life into that quest. All right, and here it's drinking those waters, and renewing your quest, that's out there. Yesterday, that Ace of Stones, the foundation of life, wanted you to have, secure footing, a great foundation to start something. And, this is telling me that maybe, this is could be a relationship coming on for you, okay? To have that strong foundation in your relationship, to build those pillars of trust and responsibility and companionship as you're moving forward. And then the waters of life come along, okay? And, once you have trust within a relationship, okay, that's when emotion starts. You can trust people with your emotions, all right? And a lot of people will hold off on saying the love word, until they get comfortable with somebody, all right? But when you can share your feelings, when you can share your emotions with somebody else, and share the intimate details with somebody else, that's where you develop even a deeper trust. And that's what that waters of life, waters is all about, the cups is all about, the Ace of Vessels, Vessels is all about emotional energy. Okay, it's, it's psychic energy. It could be a start of, a new psychic journey for you too. So, harness your emotions for positive gain, and gather that emotional energy for a healthy balance. That Three of Bows fulfillment's still out there, which talks about balance. All right. Now, if you can harness your emotions and have a solid foundation while you're still trying to breathe, some life into a project, you're working on that healthy balance. It doesn't make a difference what path you take for that fulfillment. Balance in your life so that love emanates through you. When you get that balance and it's positive and you share it with others, okay, you can love people for who they are. You can have conversations with them and give them love, okay? And at that same time, you're developing love within your life. You're reaching out to others. So, let's look at, I'll start from the end. As I said, the Ace of Arrows broke off. But, the Queen of Stones is out there. And she is actually she's looking up the line. Okay, that Three of Bows, that Five of Stones, the Ancestor, the Four of Arrows, the Ace of Stones, and the Ace of Vessels. She's looking up that line. And she's asking you, what needs to be preserved? What needs to be preserved for you to, continue having that ancient wisdom to be reawakened? Maybe you need to carry a vessel, all right, to remind you of that. Maybe just a little trinket around your neck filled with water, okay? Any chance you get to be preserved, drink some of the water that you come across with the pools, all right? Vessels always come up, You can always find water in all the elements except fire, okay? If you search long enough in the ground, you can find water. Eventually in the air, it's going to rain. There's going to be water. Okay, so you can preserve that, by using those resources correctly. Okay? Next up is the Three of Bows, fulfillment. All right? And like I said, it didn't matter what path you're on. You find that balance of life. All right? And on that path, you're enduring. As I said, here you got a storm coming, or it could be, in this aspect, maybe it's not a storm, maybe it's a life change. Maybe somebody's coming into your life, okay, with these two aces to, have you open up to something, all right? And you have to endure right now to get there. The Ancestor has got that ancestral beat going to help you understand the path that you're on, the quest that you're on with that Ace of Arrows, the breath of life, is part of what the Ancestor wants you to move on, all right? And then, 2 days later, you got the Ace of Stones, and then 3 days later, you got the Ace of Vessels. So listen, the quest that you're on is meaningful, okay? It gave you that opportunity to breathe life into something. And at the same time, you've got the opportunity to rest right now, be covered by that monarch, okay? Give some time for thought on where you want to go. And then that Ace of Stones, creating that good foundation to build on. And if this is a relationship for you, look at what has happened in the past with other relationships and ask yourself what's worked and what hasn't worked. All right? And have that open and honest communication with your significant other, with this new person, on, where you want to be. Here are the ground rules, right? This is what we're going to build this relationship on. All right? And then you can open up and start talking about the emotions. Talking about the emotions of what this relationship is. And, in any relationship, works, social, personal, there's always, you get together and things go good, and then all of a sudden, there's challenges, there's strife, and then things will normalize, okay? And it's, that Stormin, Foreman, Norman, opportunity, okay? So that's today's card of the day, that Ace of Vessels, the Waters of Life. hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. This is D for Spirits Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. And stay safe, everybody.